It's easier to move to this country than it is to move between states in the US. A year ago, my family moved from Oregon to Georgia, and that process was 100 times more complex than moving from Georgia, the state, to Georgia, the country. Everything about moving here has been 100 times easier. Everything from just arriving to getting my business license, a path to residency, even just making friends and community. So when I moved from Oregon to the state of Georgia, after living in Oregon for almost 12 years, I was really just shocked and irritated with just how much legal and admin type of work I had to do to get settled in, from getting my proof of address, getting a whole new license, and then not only that, getting a new car, getting, paying the tags for that car, filling out that whole thing, then signing up for all the utilities with 6 different companies, 6 different processes, different usernames, getting internet to the house. Like, all of that stuff was just a huge hassle. And, it's normal to do that. But contrast that to what I had to do to actually move to Tbilisi is book a flight, book an Airbnb, get a local eSIM, and if I wanted to, just pre-download a rideshare app. But even after that, getting settled and getting things set up has been so simple as well. I reached out to an accounting firm, and a few days later had a meeting, paid $400, and they took me right over across the street to the public service building, and I filed my business license over a cappuccino. Not even kidding. You go in, you can go to a cafe, order a cappuccino, and somebody comes to your table, takes your paperwork, does their thing. You're finished with your cappuccino, they come back, and you're all good to go. It's night and day compared to what you have to do in the US. And not even that, but just in between different states in the US, the processes are different and confusing. When I had to file for my DBA for a Georgia business, it was completely different and totally nonsensical compared to how it was in Oregon. And same thing with getting a Georgian bank account. Just walk in with your passport, tell them where you live, and by that afternoon, my account was already set up. So now I have everything set up to send my US earnings to my Georgian bank account. Each month, log into my portal, pay 1% tax on that, and as soon as I cross $18,000, I'm eligible to apply for residency in Georgia. It's just that easy. And not to even get into all of the tax exclusions. That'll have to be a whole separate video once I have a little bit more hands-on experience with that. But besides the business and admin side of everything, it's also just been really easy to make new connections and new friends here by just having shared interests in natural wine and food and joining a co-working space. I mean, people are just really open and wholesome here. And so you just get talking on what you're interested in. People are just down, especially once they know you live here full time and you're not just passing through in a week, to hang out and to get a drink with somebody new or go out to dinner. And honestly, people have been so generous. The Georgian people have been so generous with their time and just wanting to show me and my family around and make sure that we're getting settled here okay, and that we're making connections and introducing us to new people. On that front, I feel like we've made more progress in developing a community here than we did an entire year in the US. And yeah, we already had some close friends in the state of Georgia when we moved there. But beyond that, we had a lot of acquaintances that never really developed past that too much. And when it did, it was just a slower process. We weren't necessarily immediately connecting with somebody and then going out to hang out like we are here. For example, I joined a co-working space called D Block, and it's inside of this design hotel called Stamba, which is this old historic publishing house that they've completely transformed into this beautiful space. It has restaurants downstairs, this huge, incredible co-working space inside, and then it has this amazing courtyard and amphitheater with the best natural wine bar in Tbilisi, in my opinion, all right there. So really my work and life kind of all commingle in this beautiful space. It's just been really natural to start talking about work, start talking about wine and food, and just be hanging out with the same people and kind of be in the same orbit as some of the most creative and successful entrepreneurs and business people in the country. And all of that for about 190 USD per month. It's pretty crazy, because co-working spaces where I used to live in Oregon were like easily maybe $600 for a fixed desk. The vibe was just off for sure. So there's always somebody nearby who I can connect with to talk about each of those things. And afterwards, it makes it just really seamless to hang out, grab a bite, or more often than not, just grab a $6 glass of some of the most amazing natural wines. I mean, even with me, for example, moving here with wife and kids, you know, I find that in the US, if you have kids, you just hang out with people with kids. If you don't have kids and you're single, you just hang out with like mostly other single people. But here, like we've done so much with people from both categories. Like we've hung out and met other couples who have young kids, done brunch with them, done hangouts in the park, and then also have like gone out in the evenings for dinner with all sorts of new people. And people are just a lot more open to that here. I feel like it's just more of a easygoing and open mindset and culture around making connections and making friends. And so really the point of all of this is just to say that the process of how things operate here in Georgia is inherently simple and easy. I mean, it's easy to get here. It's easy to stay here. It's easy to set up a business here. And it's easy to start a life in a community here, so much more so than in the US. And so if you've been thinking about making the jump, you've been hesitant because of, you know, maybe the process or what you don't know about the process and you feel overwhelmed with what you don't know, take it from me. It is just way easier than you probably think and really is worth doing it. So anyway, that's all I have to share. And I hope to see you out here.